Hello everyone, I'm glad to see you again on my channel, and today we will check on an exercise called permutation in string, also medium level like in a previous exercise in the previous videos. So let's check what we are given in that task. So you are given two strings s1 and s2, and we need to return true if any permutations of s1 is a substring of s2, otherwise we need to return false. And below we have an example where we have a string ab and a longer string s2, and in that case we return true because in a longer substring s2 we have ba, which is a permutation of AB, which is inside the string. And what's also important thing here is that they should go one over another. So yeah, it cannot be the case where we have, for example, a substring s1 ab and probably a string acb. It doesn't mean that ACB is a valid variant. I hope it's clear what I mean. So they should come one over another. And below we have another example where we have a string AB and a long string S2, and in that case we need to return false because we don't have any permutation inside this longer string. So that's it. Let's go, and like usual we are doing, let's answer to some questions. So let's check what kind of questions. So what is a permutation? How do we check if a window is a permutation of S1, and what pattern fits here? So I would suggest you first of all to think by yourself a couple of seconds and to try to answer to these questions, because I think it helps better understand what you need to do. And let me answer to them now. So what is a permutation? Same character in any order. So for example, AB and BA are permutations of each other. And how do we check if a window is a permutation of S1? So we compare characters' frequencies. If counts match, it's a permutation. And what pattern fits here? So I think a good technique will be here fixed size sliding window. Window size is always s1.length, because if we want, for example, to find a substring, let's say AB in a longer string, we always know that our window should be 2. So we just will move it through the longer string, and we'll search till the moment we will find the match, or will not find. So I hope these questions helped you to understand task better. Now let's go to implementation. So let's try how we can do this in code. So first of all, let's identify public static like usual, and we already identified that this method should return true or false, so it will be a boolean. And let's call it find permutation in string, and we will have two arguments, both of type string. So we will have string s1 and string s2. Perfect. And now let's make a small check here. So we always want that S2 string to be longer than S1 string, which we search in string S2. So in case if S1 length is higher than S2 length, it means that we need to return false, or maybe a message where we will indicate that, wait, actually it should be vice versa. And now we will need to have two places where we will store characters and frequencies. So that we need to create a for loop. And I want, first of all, before for loop, actually, we need to create these places where we'll store the characters and their frequencies. So the key will be character and the value will be integer, and let's call it S1 S1 count, let's say, which is equal to, let's initialize it. So, and also we will need the same thing, the same place where we'll store characters and frequencies, but for S2 string. HashMap characters, integer, and let's call it window count. And let's initialize it. Okay, cool. Now let's iterate through our first string, and let's determine what characters we want to match, and also we want to know their frequencies, because let's say if we have AAB, a string, a longer string, and we want to find a substring AP, it doesn't matter that AAB will be a valid solution because the frequency is different. So the correct solution should be just AP. So let's iterate. Let's create I is equal to 0. We want to iterate through S1 length, and let's increase the counter. Okay, cool. And now what I want to do, I want to store so I want to store this in my map, what count. Okay, and let's put here s1.char add I, and the value will be s1 count get or default, in case if this is a new element in our map, get or default s1 char add I. The default value will be 0 plus 1. Cool. And actually you can create a separate for, let's say, for in order to iterate through our longer string S2 and to start from the first element, but I think I will do it right here. So I will start to iterate through the string S2 count, oh actually not window count, put S2 char add I window count get our default S2 char add I and 0 plus 1. Okay, cool. Now let's verify if these two maps are equal, because if they are equal, it means that we have found a substring in the longest string in S2 and we can return true. So let's verify this. So s1 count. For better clarity, window count is equal to s1 count, and if it's true, then we need to return true, because it means that we have same characters with the same frequencies, so we have found a match. Alright, but if we haven't found any match, in that case we need to continue to move our window inside s2 string. So let's create a loop, and here let's do like this, and here we will start not from the 0, because we already started to iterate for our s2 string, but we will start from the index where we have stopped in the previous loop, and this is s1 dot length ei is equal should be less than our s2 length, and I plus plus. Cool. So that's it. And now what do we need to do? So we will need 2 pointers, so left and right, in order to define bounds of our window, so from where it starts and where it will finish. So let's create, let's say, something like this, char let's call it new char from right, yes, and it will be equal to s2 char and I index, actually, yeah, correct, I index, and char remove char character from left, and this will be equal to s2 char add and I, which is equal to length 2 in our case, let's say, minus minus length of the s1 dot length, and by doing this we will find the left the element to which left pointer should to point. Okay, now when we have done this, we need to increase the frequency for the new element which will be added in our window, and we need to decrease the element which we remove from our window, because we move our window to the right, and element which was in the left now is not inside our window, so we need to decrease the frequency for that. So first of all, let's add a new element, put so a window count, put new character from right, and window count, get word default, new character from right, default value will be 0 and +1. Okay, and now we need to decrease the element which we remove from our window. It will be like this. Put remove character from left, window count dot get. Okay, and remove character from yes, remove character from left -1, correct. So that's it, and now let's check the last thing. So we want to check if we remove an element from our window and the value is equal to 0, it means that we need to remove this entry set from our map, because if we will have a key with some value and actually a key with value equal to 0, and we will try to do this thing again. So we will try to check if window count is equal to s1 count, it will return false because it has a key which is not inside s1 count. So we need to remove that in case if value is equal to 0. So let's do this. So let's check if window count gets remove character from left, and if value of a removed element is equal to 0, then we wanna window count, we wanna remove the value of we wanna remove the entry from our map. So let's do this, remove character from left, and that's it. And now let's again, when we have moved our window to the right, let's try to check again if our maps are equal. Window equals s1 count, and if it is, let's return true. And in case if we iterate through our 10 minutes, I think this is okay. Yeah, correct. So if we iterated through our string s2 and we haven't returned true, it means that we haven't found any substrings which will match our s1 string, so we can return false. Okay. Now let's try and test this method. So system out println find permutation in string. Let's declare some strings. So let's so let's write, for example, AB, and here let's say we will have A, C, D, F, G, A, or better BA. Now let's try and see the answer. So the answer is true. Perfect. Now let's try like this, AB, to check if it also will return true. Yes, and now let's remove B and it should return false. Yes, correct. So now let's analyze our solution. So the time complexity is O(n) multiplied by m, because sliding the window is O(n) complexity, but HashMap equals method on every step is O(m), where m is unique characters. So that's why we have this time complexity. And now let's check space complexity. So space complexity is considered O(1) because hash maps are bounded by alphabetic size 26, so it's it doesn't depend on input data. It somehow static, so in that case we consider that space complexity is 1. So in the next video I will show you how you can solve this task a little bit better, a little bit more optimized. So if you are interested, we will see in the next video. Bye.